Brother Cronin, he's a good man.
On the Joe Cronin Show, best.
You're listening to the Joe Cronin Show. Who's your daddy now?
All of the top news and the #1 reviews. If you're looking for a place for wrestling talk, look no further than here. State of the WWE. Joe Cronin, Dave Rose, and Justin Bailey are gonna break it down piece by piece right here on State of the WWE.
Do I need to get my setup, or should I,
No, just
get something to hold your chin up.
Bailey, just stay right there. I'm actually recording now. This is State of the WWE. But Bailey, you are happy birthday and you're drunk, or you're hungover. You're hungover.
I don't know. I might still be drunk. I don't know.
I would have a raging headache, like it wouldn't stop.
Happy birthday, Justin Bailey from Morrow.
Thanks, Morrow. I appreciate it, buddy.
You're welcome.
Hey, Bailey, let's plug your show while we're at the beginning here. What's this, the season 2 that you're gonna release here?
Season 2 of Monday Night Retro just released it Friday, and it's performing really, really well. And it's going to be a great year, 1996 from WCW. It's arguably the most iconic year in professional wrestling because it changed the game. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So it'd be great if everybody go over there and check that out.
Do you have a microphone now?
No, I just turned my voice on.
Okay.
Just
because you
trying to wake up.
Trying
to sound like I'm not.
You sound low is all. I mean, I know you're gonna sound like crap no matter what, but you just sound low is all. I didn't know if you had a volume thing you could hit, but if not, don't worry.
I'm just on a fucking cell phone, so it probably doesn't sound the greatest.
Oh, okay. Well,
I've seen the other ones though; they were pretty good. I'm looking forward to '96.
We're lucky you're here at all, Bailey. We're lucky you're alive right now.
Bailey's he's not really here. He's just here in spirit.
Is your wife pregnant again?
Oh, God, don't say that shit.
Oh, happy birthday. You know, Leah got this, well, I don't know. There's a thing you can get. It stops everything.
It stops their heart.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Some states it's legal, though. Some it isn't. I don't know. No, it's legal everywhere. I'm kidding. This is, I think, State of the WWE 67. Not too much, I want to say, has happened, really. For the most part, I feel like we're almost, where we were. I think it's more the drama that's been going on between Shelton Benjamin tearing his rotator cuff or whatever.
Yep.
So there we go. There's that whole announcement of him coming back and everything. All for nothing. Is this going to be it for him? Will we never hear again from him now, or will he get back in?
Well, supposedly when he tweeted out the initial tweet and the internet heart just broke, and I don't blame him because I think Benjamin, out of all the people that were rumored to come back, like MVP and other people, I think he was the top one at the list, like you were saying in your earlier video.
Yeah.
He was the one we were really anticipating for, especially on SmackDown, where it's man, he can kick some ass in that. So that's kind of disheartening. But he did go on to tweet and say it was because of WWE that they when they were doing the medical testing, I'm assuming, is when they found out about it. So, and they said the door's open for him. So it's not like you will never see him again. It's just he's not cleared. It's not that he's not cleared to compete in just WWE. He's not cleared to compete in wrestling. So it's not like he's going to go to the Indies or something like that, and where it's crazier and it's the Wild West. But supposedly doors are still open.
Yeah, he's jacked up. Okay.
Well, I'm wondering what the details of his contract were. Too, because I don't know if it sounds like kayfabe knows a little more about it than we do, as far as his status with WWE. But I was always, even when he was announced for the return, I was always wondering what exactly the details of his contract were. Mm. You know what I mean? If he's, he of course he had dates that he had to, do before he came to WWE and all that stuff. I get that, but I was just wondering what his contract was going to be like. Was this a guy that had to work, all the house shows and all this stuff? What kind of contract did he have?
I know a little bit. I don't know the whole details, and I'm going on presumably here. I heard that it was basically not. He would be working mostly TVs. He would work house shows, but he would only work like the higher drawing house shows. Like, I don't know if you remember this. They did this a couple of years ago, but they delegated like all their house show, like, or the areas where they do their shows as like A show, like A cities, B cities, and C cities.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think that he was only scheduled to do like the A's and B's or something like that. That's what I heard. Again, I could be completely wrong on that, but he was only supposed to do like the higher drawing house show cities is what I heard.
So it would be like he would be doing mostly like weekend shows, of course,
Right.
and then he would be doing like what, like the holiday tours and
Yeah, like if they did like the Garden, if
Right,
they
okay.
obviously like that would be huge there too. But that's what I heard again, supposedly. But
Well, it's a shame and it sucks either way that Shelton's not there, and it's just just disappointing and ridiculous. MVP is like they're like every week it's like they're tweeting he's there or something. Like, are they just gonna surprise?
he's getting a hot dog at the concession stand.
Yeah, it was like they're showing him in the back hugging people, and then there's rumors, and then pictures, and then he doesn't come out. So is he gonna do the? He's gonna be the next one to attack the 3MB guy. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, I mean you hear all these reports about people being quote unquote backstage, and it's really hard to like pinpoint any of that. And I'll be the first one to admit that like when I heard the news like, oh, he's backstage, I get a little excited. But after a while, you start to realize they're just visiting friends. Like I know. Who was it? Like Scott Hall was backstage at one Raw, and Flair was at another. Like, they're just there because it's close and convenient to their thing. As far as I know, MVP is definitely not going, supposedly, because of the lack of money they offered him, or the money offer wasn't right. But that's, again, what I heard.
I can't imagine that. What is it? MLW is offering more money for him than WWE. Damn, if it came down to money, I can't imagine what he's getting paid by those guys.
Yeah, that would be. It's very. I never understand that because you hear about people like, I don't want to go back to WWE. I'd rather go to this place. Like, I mean, what's the difference? I mean, unless like WWE is like, offering $100,000, but then I guess what, you pay for all your hotel, pay for all that crap. Right. Maybe if you're offered like $70,000, I don't even know what the contracts are like in ROH. I have no idea what the ROH ones are like. I'm just going on like what Maria said. Like Maria saying like, oh, it's actually better in ROH because they pay for, they pay for everything and then you get your salary and that's it. Whereas
true, but they don't do as many house shows, right?
They don't. Yeah. So I mean, but I don't understand how you could make more. But I guess you could because if you're being booked like other places, like if you're being booked, at a couple other places in between ROH, so
right.
So when you're working ROH, if you're allowed to wrestle other places, then it's kind of like you are doing as many house shows because, well, you're not just, doing the one or two ROH shows a week and then going home. You're doing 5 shows a week.
True. I mean, unless it's also like the TNA deal. I don't know if I don't think TNA still has this deal, but like the pay per appearance, which, if you that could add up very quickly. Instead of guaranteeing like a salary or a monthly rate, you're depending on how often you're booked, which just gives you more incentive to get over. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly how ROH is structured either.
Yeah, I don't know. I should ask. I should probably ask some people there since I know
Brutal Bob.
People. Yeah, I'll go talk to Bob. I'm gonna call you. Bob's gonna probably listen to this, so I won't say anything else. What the hell does this say? Your USB connected malfunction? What the hell USB is malfunctioning? Oh, this one. I just unplugged it with my elbow. So, anyway, moving on from Shelton Benjamin and all that other crap.
Yep.
The next hot thing that's going on right now is this Conor McGregor thing. Is this a work or what's going on?
They are out for McGregor blood.
I tweeted
This is
him earlier.
a red hot subject right now.
Yeah.
I think it's. I mean, if it's not, it's hard to tell because this is kind of the stuff he just says anyway. But I mean,
if this is a work, it's the greatest work in the last 10 years. I'm serious. If it's a work, it's probably the greatest work in wrestling in the last decade.
It's a great work. I mean, if it is one, it's just a great idea. Like it was going to easily work. Like that's why I don't even think it's the greatest work because I feel like if it's a work, it's just makes sense. It's just easy to do. All Conor McGregor has to do is talk some trash and that's it. Nice, Bren. And but people are getting pissed off everywhere. But the fact that guys like Jericho are reacting, but I noticed that I think for the most part, has anybody really in the WWE commented besides like Jericho and maybe Flair? Like, because those are sort of outsidely contracted guys.
There's a bunch.
Let me pull some up because I know I was talking to you earlier before we got on here. Like Flair left a laundry list. Like he said,
yeah, but he's about to be gone. He's about to not be picked up by WWE, right?
Yeah, coming from a guy who built a great career copying my persona, I expected the type of class we get from Ronda or Anderson. After Diaz finishes you, I dare you to try guys like Dolph, Brock, or Fit. A couple of other guys, yeah, it's like, geez. Roman Reigns made a comment. He was just like, Kurt Angle did. Well, we already talked about that.
Oh, Roman said, "Dude, you're the size of my leg. Shut up."
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was it.
Props to Roman because that's fucking.
That's
epic.
pretty funny. Yeah, that kind of
Kingston-
stuff might get Roman.
Kofi Kingston said, "Yikes! Looks like he could use a big bowl of bootios right about now."
That's funny.
But the funny one was, I think
Mine.
what was that?
My tweet was the best one.
I didn't see that yet.
What did you tweet?
I tweeted, "My dick is bigger than yours, you Irish cunt."
I'm gonna go over and like that right now.
Well, then hold on because I'm typing it right now.
Who was it? Your boy Bubba copied somebody.
I'm
Bubba
sure.
Ray Dudley.
What?
He retweeted he retweeted Kurt Angle. He's like, I want to see Kurt Angle mop the floor with him.
Oh yeah, let me tweet him now. Hold on a second. He hasn't blocked me yet. Oh yeah, here we go. My dick is bigger than yours.
I like news joke
Jericho's. Did you guys see Jericho's tweet? That one was fucking great.
Yeah, he's like, you do, what was it? Something along the effect of like, what you do is fake. I'm a real sport. Bring it on, or something like that.
Yeah, he said, just for the record, all of my fights are real, unlike those fixed fights you have in UFC.
I saw that, but see, Jericho's allowed to get away with it. I mean, for Christ's sake, Jericho interviewed Matt Hardy, on his podcast.
I gotta see that. I've heard. I've started just hearing like a wave of people saying it's one of the best podcasts they've ever heard.
I'm so mad because I wanted to, and this is probably why he wouldn't come on the show until he did this, because we wanted Matt Hardy said he would come on the show, and I knew when we interviewed him that he should be in character, but now he's already done it with Jericho for like an hour, so and he told me he had to wait until the end of August, so I'm sure that's why. It's part of it.
Oh yeah, I mean they're close friends. I know that.
Yeah,
so.
I mean he's not going to do this with somebody else first.
Dude, you want to talk about somebody that probably has one of like the most elusive contracts in WWE? How about Chris Jericho, right? This guy does whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah,
hey, I'm gonna bring a scarf to the ring. Can we stop him? No. All right, I guess he's just gonna bring a scarf to the ring. Screw it.
I mean, the dude goes, "Hey, I want to have a contract with you guys, but I only want to work house shows."
It's the reverse. It's the reverse Brock Lesnar contract.
What was that? Oh, damn it, I lost it. What was I going to say? Oh, I forget it. Oh, it's something to do with, I was watching a thing with Al Snow, to move into this sort of topic. I was watching something with Al Snow, and Al Snow's talking about how scripted it is and how ridiculous it is and how, like, now, like, the suits in the back, like, some of the agents and stuff like that, are, like, calling all the wrestling moves and the wrestling spots, and he's like, it's unbelievable. And he's like, it's so, like, I mean, it's unbelievably horrible. Like, I mean, that's the worst thing.
I heard about that because he was asked if they did the same thing in TNA, and he goes, "Yeah, we pretty much did the same thing." Which I don't understand that. I understand getting like certain spots in for stories and drama and for
in the interview I saw, he said they don't do that in TNA. They do the whole like they do a little bit of telling you what to do and stuff like that. But he said what you just said, that he said they do that, but then he came back and kind of changed it. So I got confused in the interview myself, but I believe he was saying TNA wasn't as bad, but it still goes on in TNA. So,
I mean, I understand because a lot of the agents are former wrestlers. Like I know Arn, Fit, your boy Road Dogg. I know they're agents, but I mean, unless you're calling like I understand calling specific spots for specific reasons, like the storyline, like, oh, you got to do this because it goes back to whatever happened so and so. And I understand the finish. The finish is like the hardest thing to book, and it's a complicated mess anyway. But like, you got to call most of the stuff in the ring. It just flows naturally, especially with ways like things can drop on a dime so quickly on the live audience. That just you can only plan so much, and not just in wrestling but in life. And if you over plan, sometimes it can just backfire on you.
Yeah, one of the things I can't even imagine. I used to get mad when anybody would want to do more than like a one or two little spots with me. It was really tough. All right, I forget what I was saying. So I don't know. So stuff is scripted. That sucks. Was there anything else we wanted to say before I move into this next little thing that I want to talk about?
I just want to say that arguably the best wrestler in the world of all time that people can remember has always been Ric Flair. I think it's arguable. Most people believe that to be true, though. That's a guy who literally called every one of his matches in the ring.
Right.
Okay, and it's because in every single match you see from Flair, the beauty about his matches is 90% of the time it's the same fucking match, but for some reason, every one of his matches are amazing.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's not just because they're the same. It's because he calls them in the ring, and while it may be the same match, it's not exactly choreographed the same because he calls it in the fucking ring. Like, it's time for this spot. It's time for that spot. It's time
Right.
I hate it when guys, and this started when I started backyard wrestling, and then it carried over in the ring wrestling. But it was the worst when a guy would have like 90, 100 fucking spots to do, like, and he's like, and then we're gonna do this, and then you have to hit this, and have you ever seen this move before? And I'm like, no. He's like, well, you do this, and this happens, and that happens, and you're like, oh my god, someone's gonna get hurt because I have no idea what we're talking about. So it's terrible to do that. It's way better to be like, let's just do what we do, and this will happen, that will happen, and here's how we'll end it. Or even if you don't know how you're going to end it, you can even call that. That happens all the time, too. That's what usually when you know the guy. I know what you do for a finisher. You know what I do for a finisher. Who's going over you? Okay, well, we can...
Right.
It's just real easy. It becomes real quick. Like,
Well, I had a friend who I used to do indies as a manager, and I used to go up to like Maine and do a couple of local shows, and so I would go with him to the ring, and we would sit down and talk about matches, and he was like, what should I do? I'm like, get heat. That was it. That's like, I said, you're a heel, just get heat. And we would literally you'd see this, you don't see it so much now, I think, but you see like, obviously with managers where they just break off for a minute. Like they go in and do a couple of things and they pull off and like, okay, what do we want to do? And then they kind of slowly call it from there and let it just build naturally. I wouldn't be there and be like, okay, you do this first, then the drop kick. Like, who was notorious? Oh, Savage. I heard Randy Savage was really notorious for like writing lists out of like move number 75, move number 76, move number 77. It's like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, how could you possibly do that? Apparently, his match with Steamboat at WrestleMania 3 had something like 150 steps or some crazy number like that.
oh my
and
god,
and he would rattle them all off in order.
that's insane. He would hate me because I would
Actually,
forget.
that's true. It was in the Randy Savage DVD that came out.
Yep.
And you're right. It was like he had 100 fucking plus moves, and he shows it to Steamboat, and the number one it says lock up, and Steamboat looked at Randy and goes, "Randy, everyone knows we're gonna lock up."
Yeah, Savage, come on now. We're gonna lock up. Of course we're not. Like, come on.
But he was also very notorious for getting really emotional if a spot was missed, and he was notorious for going off and just kind of being a crybaby. And kind of showing it in the ring, like, oh, we fucked up, and
Yeah, that's too bad because
that's not good. You can't do that though,
Well, it's too bad because that probably he had that match with Steamboat and they got all that praise and everybody loved it, so he's probably like, this is the way to do it. I told you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's like, look, why would you do that? It's the greatest match ever, brother. I mean, come on.
Did Hogan know
Dave
what
Meltzer gave it 5 stars. Holy
Did
cow.
Hogan write down one move? No. They sold it on the bodies, but let me
We
tell
did
you,
150. Don't touch Elizabeth. Yeah.
we took it to the top.
Yeah.
Me and Steamboat, we took him to the top. Yeah.
Like, I don't know, fucking. We all just lost it. Hey, so let's talk about another thing. This is more of like state of wrestling, I suppose, but let's talk about this ever-growing, ever fucking forever rivalry between Vince Russo and Jim Cornette. This has been going on forever, and honestly, whenever I listen to one of them, I go, man, the other guy's an ass. And then when I listen to the other one, I think, well, God, the other guy's an ass. Like, it's really funny how, like,
They out-ass themselves.
it's like I believe but don't believe both of them. It's the fucking weirdest thing. Like, I believe one, then I don't believe the other. I mean, you got Jim Cornette talking about Vince Russo like this.
I went out as the agent and executed that. I didn't go into business for myself. We got the okay from Buddy for a retraction since he knew that it didn't happen. And he said that he was sure that Dixie would have no problem with that. And the next day, there was a retraction. The same unnamed source that said I did it also said I didn't do it. Not from Dixie Carter, not from anybody that was attributable in the company, but an unnamed source. Which is why that I've been telling people what a lying sack of shit, whore, cunt, Douchebag Dixie Carter's been ever since because she lied to me to my face on the phone and told me it didn't have anything to do with Russo. It was just a difference in philosophy, and we'd work together sometime again down the road. Yeah, I'd want some more of that. It was so enjoyable the first time around. And I've also tried to tell everybody what Vince Russo's really like. But unfortunately, even though most everybody now knows, since he has had not one lick of success in the fucking wrestling industry since his accidental Attitude Era 20 years ago, he still perpetuates this myth that he could say suey if the hogs had him about professional wrestling.
The best part is when he threatens to, like, assault him.
His presence is so poisonous, his reputation is so bad, and everybody who's ever worked with him, if they'll admit it publicly, knows what the fuck he's like, that she couldn't even bring him back in front of people. So he was a branded from the TV Guide, B-movie fucking video stores, and those are not exactly.
He just 40 minutes of him tearing
Brains
into.
were gasoline. He couldn't propel a Flea's motorcycle around a raindrop. If you
Cornette comes up with the best insult. I love and worship and respect Jim Cornette because him getting angry and some of the stuff he says when he's mad is some of the funniest, most entertaining stuff I've ever read or seen. It's so good. Like Cornette mad is hilarious, especially when he gives like little stupid things like that.
Like I think one of the best things I do is rant and go off, and I think they're the most entertaining things I do is when I flip out. But the way he does it is like goddamn poetry or something. Like it's the weirdest thing. Like mine are just raw.
He just
and funny.
rattles them off, and he doesn't breathe half the time in between them. I'm waiting to hear like a nothing.
He's got tons of them.
to you because we've been friends for at that time 50 to get it approved. So Jeff says take
Where does he say
from
his
the
name?
promoters Tim Woody and Tracy Myers, and they do a great show, and I recommend everybody go. But I won't be there this year because one of the vendors is bringing Vince Russo in. And I had promised Stacy a long time ago and promised myself that I would never be in the same place as him ever again because I know how I get. And I know that one of us would go to jail and the other one would go to the hospital, and I believe I know which is which, and I don't want to be paying any lawyers. So I'm not going to be there at WrestleCade this year specifically because I'm trying to be the bigger man and not get in fucking issues. But now that he has come out and told everybody, told the world what a piece of shit he is, I am just congratulating myself that once again I've known all along and for 20 years what I've been saying is true. And Vince Russo, let me tell you something. And if you want to, you can call the fucking FBI, because I sent Terry Taylor an email about him one time, and Terry Taylor immediately forwarded it right to Russo. And I didn't say I was going to murder him, but I said I sure would like to.
FBI?
I have dreams about doing it. And they sent me a letter from their lawyers. It was, by the way, it was an
He said to call the FBI.
Yeah. I think I've heard this thing, but it gets so much better.
He's had dreams about killing him.
entertainment lawyer. God never even fucking tried a real fucking criminal case. Couldn't got a sodomy charge reduced to tailgating with some entertainment lawyer. But they said, you violated a confidentiality contract, and I've still framed this part, and Vince Russo's in mortal fear of you. Well, Russo, you better be in mortal fear of me, son, because I'm old and I'm broke down, and I don't know if I can whip anybody anymore, but I swear to fucking God in heaven, if there was one, that the next time that I see you anywhere in person, I will pick up whatever blunt instrument is handy, and I will do what I've been wanting to do for 20 years, and that's cave your miserable fucking skull in and do the world a favor.
I'm crying right now. I can't even.
Jim Cornette is fucking God.
You got to get him on, dude. You got to get him on.
Dude, I have tried.
Yeah, we've
tried for so long.
Here's some of Vince Russo's response. Check this out.
Front me when we worked at TNA together after the WWE. Never, ever said anything to me, to my face. It's been 17 years of talking behind my back because, quite frankly, I was chosen for spots twice over him. So, because I replaced the man twice with 17 years, because I am not going to engage somebody that is irrational, that you cannot have a civilized conversation with. I've become part of his folklore. I've become part of his shtick. I've become part of his comedy route.
Cornette again.
Yeah,
like I've heard like
blah.
You hear like the two of them respond. I've heard Vince Russo get mad, but I've never heard like Cornette's just a whole different level.
Where did you pull that clip from? Was that from the Jim Cornette Experience?
Yeah, probably, but it's uploaded all over the YouTubes and podcast places everywhere. I know TV Tracks is the ones that have the this Vince Russo one that I'm listening to, but I wish I knew because I give the other person
I've listened
credit.
to the Experience, and I didn't hear that part. You know,
So funny.
You know, maybe it was kayfabe commentaries that got him.
Oh my god!
You know,
Yeah,
I mean-
I've heard a bunch of them on there because I saw his Ring of Honor rant where he talked about like what happened with his relationship
and the
with
Young
Ring
Bucks.
of Honor. No, not the Young Bucks. About what happened when like they had like a merchandise guy like was dictating different things about the company. Like yeah, like apparently I could be getting this wrong. I think Adam Pearce was originally a commentator for ROH back in the day. But not originally, but he was at one point. He was a commentator, and him and this merchandise guy and Pierce didn't get along. And because the merchandise guy like blasted to Sinclair HR, Pierce no longer became the commentator. And it's like, and Cornette goes off. He's like, "You effed us and everything!" Like he just goes off of this one merchandise guy. It's absolutely hilarious.
That's funny. God damn it, that's funny.
I think Cornette would still fuck up Russo, though. To be honest with you.
I don't know.
He'd try.
I don't know. It would, yeah, like he would be like.
Not saying he would win, not saying he'd lose. I'm just saying watching him try would be absolutely.
All I know is if they
beautiful.
ever did it, if they legit did it, they could solve world hunger. And to be honest, as a person who apparently believes in God, as Vince Russo says he does, although then he's got videos just I do find it weird that and I love Russo and he's friends with us. You know, he's always been really good with us. So I don't want to say, go too over the line without having him here. But I will say it is strange that he's like, this whole the God thing, but then he does these videos where he has like women, where he kind of like sort of like Howard Stern's these women, like, and he's like, yeah, Melinda, damn Melinda, you are one of the finest women. It's like the weirdest thing. Like I just think that's coming off.
He's probably doing it for the viewership, which I understand.
Maybe, but I feel
you have to cater a certain audience.
Cornette says some funny stuff about him though in regards to that. He's like, because that's what he does. He got to masturbate the women. He just goes like I don't know. He's like a 13-year-old boy, 13-year-old disgusting boy. Probably got semen stains. Like I don't know. He can't do Cornette's voice.
Yeah, God,
he talks about.
He comes out.
Dude, he is so funny what he talks about. But yeah, dude, Cornette hit me with 5 of those zingers while I was interviewing him at that thing in Rhode Island last year. I mean, he kept looking at the girl. He was saying all the girls were throwing panties at him. Then I said, I'm afraid of losing her, and I pointed to Leah. And he goes, well, you should be. You couldn't get a date on a tombstone. The guy just bam, everything you say, he's got. Like, what did he? He is full on carny. Kenny Boland's told us about this when he was on. By the way, we got to get Kenny Boland back. He wants to do a show. But yeah, he would be great if we could get him and Kenny Boland. Actually, you know what? Honestly, if we get Kenny Boland on again, we'll get Kenny to get him on.
I contacted Kenny a week ago, and he said he was battling health issues, and no sooner than we talked on Facebook, he went to the hospital.
Really?
So yeah.
He contacted me I think right after that then, because he's been sending me video messages last couple days.
He made it out. He's fine now. Yeah.
He said he's at home. He's okay. He had a little bit of an issue, scare, whatever. I didn't know about it, but anyway, he was asking me how his mic sounded because he got a new mic, and he's been sending me video messages every day, and I keep sending them. We keep missing each other.
The interview you did with him, man, that was a crazy night on the channel. Let's just say that much.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of videos of Joe's on his channel that are crazy nights.
It's very, very true.
To be fair,
with Kenny,
don't get me wrong, fully enjoyable right here on the Joe Cronin Show. Cheap plug.
Well, if you like, I mean, Kenny Boland, you don't even need to interview him. You can just say, Kenny, we're on the air, like, and then Kenny he can do 3 hours and never stop talking. I mean, never stop.
Remember when Dave Rose tried to ask him a question, and I don't even think he got the question?
Yeah, you have to have the question ready, like and it takes 40 minutes to get the one question in, and then it goes all into other stuff, and then if you have another question, you have to wait. Like that guy, you know what? Just sit down for 5 hours with him, and then break it up into different interviews over a year. It'll be great.
Just sit down like Kenny and go.
Connor from OKFabe is here with us, by the way. I didn't mention that at the beginning, but Connor from OKFabe, check him out on YouTube, OKFabe. And Justin Bailey is here as well from the Best There Is podcast. We mentioned his Season 2 WCW 96 is coming up. What's it really called, though? I always forget.
Monday Night Retro.
Monday Night Retro.
Great stuff. I can't wait to see it.
Does Kurt Angle come to WWE?
I don't know. I mean, I'd love to see him in WWE, but I don't. There was like these like intense rumors the last 3 months that he was going to come back, and just I don't think it's in the cards yet. I think that I think they need to kind of give it some time. Give it a year. I say give it a year. And we might see some. I'm not saying he'll it's full wrestle, but I'd say something's going to happen in probably a year.
What sucks about that, if it's a year, is we're going to have another year of every month he's coming back. So that's going to drive me nuts. Bailey, what do you think?
Well, another thing with that too, another year is another year older that Kurt Angle is, and he is broken as it is. I'm not saying he can't work. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying the dude is, he's breaking down. I mean, he's really wrestled his ass off for a long time now. And to be honest with you, if I had him back in WWE, I would put that man in NXT to work with those younger talents. I think he could really help a lot of those guys out down there.
That'd be great.
You could probably put him in as a coach role, but I think you could probably squeeze a match or two out of him. Put him in put a WrestleMania on him, put him a SummerSlam, or if they want to build it up. I mean, of course, everyone and their mother said team him with Alpha, but as a manager role. But I've never. I don't think Kurt could do a good managing role. Not that I don't think he's good enough. He's not he couldn't do it. I just can't visualize the Olympic badass Kurt Angle doing that. So it's hard for me to wrap my head around that. So I'd say squeeze a couple matches out of him, but definitely throw him to NXT.
Yeah,
this is completely hypothetical or whatever you want. To me, it's just like a dream match, I guess. But WrestleMania 33, Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar, I think that would be a great match.
Ooh, I think it's so dangerous, and I don't know, but yeah,
the match they had in 2003 was amazing. And I'm not saying they would have the same match. I'm just saying, could you imagine?
Brock does the shooting star press, but hits it this time.
Yeah.
Or he does it again, but Angle moves.
And Morrow's like, he got it finally.
Because back
13
then,
years later.
Back then, Brock is like, I shouldn't have done this, and now so now he's like, they won't see this coming because we've said I shouldn't have done it, and I'm gonna do it.
Hey, Heyman. Hey, Paul. You know that thing I shouldn't have done 13 years ago? Well, watch this.
He gets up there, screams, "Suplex City, bitch!" and then slips off the top and just falls to the outside.
Oh, my God.
Moonsault!
Honestly, as far as a match goes...
he does the fucking name wrong.
Oh, jeez, that'd be funny.
Fucking head feels like it's gonna explode.
Wouldn't that be funny?
I'd love to see Lesnar and Nakamura. Honestly.
Oh God.
And they've had a match before.
Yeah, but on a WrestleMania global scale, I think that would sell tickets.
Yeah, it would.
It'd be the best if that was the match where Brock Lesnar finally lost clean to somebody, and it was Nakamura. That would be that place would explode.
Yeah, that place would go nuts.
That would be one of the greatest things. I'm not even joking. That should be done. That should
Vince
be
won't do that.
I said that a couple.
I'm not gonna give it to a goddamn Asian.
I had an Asian driver once. He almost drove us into a damn building.
He was a chick. Beat it with an egg roll.
Vince, he did drive you into the building. Oh God! No.
Beat it with an egg roll. No, beat it with an egg roll up.
Oh my God!
That's the worst part.
And then fucking all of a sudden, Brock just gets mad in the middle of the match for no reason. Then goes into business for himself and just starts punching Nakamura.
Heyman does the exact same look he did when Lesnar beat the streak.
He just punches him. Oh God!
Hey, if you ever want to laugh, just imagine Vince McMahon in a limo looking at his Twitter and getting angry.
And then it explodes. The limo, not his Twitter.
Yeah.
Or both at this point.
Imagine Vince arguing with Shinsuke trying to speak English.
God damn it!
And the translator is Funaki.
Turn your music down! Everywhere Shinsuke goes, his music.
I said I want a number 5.
He needs new music.
He's just strutting through the back at Full Sail. Where's that goddamn Asian ass?
Johnson's like,
at this point, NXT's roster is a quarter of them?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, he comes down to NXT like, what is this, Japan? Jim and John's like, oh, I got this new song, for Shinsuke's playing the song. Vince is like, no, I think it should be more like this. chung 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 chung.
No. It's just a gong. That's all it is.
It's a gong.
Where's all the white guys at?
There's a joke that some comedian was like. He said he had an Asian roommate, and he had this grand piano in the main area when we walked in. And every time he walked in the door, I went dun 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 dun. He goes, "Why do you do that every time I come in the door?" He goes, "Because I don't have a gong."
Well, you know, there was a wrestler, I swear, in the mid-90s who had that as a song. Like, I was making fun of it because I'm thinking of, like, because, you know, some of the songs they come out with now are really cool and they're good. But in the mid-90s, it was like whenever there was an Asian wrestler, WWE just, like, made their music the most, like, ridiculous, stereotypical thing, like, ever. You know, so it was like, ding, 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 ding. Like, it was always like that. Like, go back and look. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, it was bad. Like, I'm surprised some people didn't have, like, a blackface thing going on.
I'm talking about before
WCW was really
Kind
bad about it.
Colonel
Yeah.
Parker. Enough said.
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna be the manager here for this here Harlem Heat, and these boys, even though they're in jail jumpsuits, I do might have reckon they'd be making a great tag team.
Well, you know, even Jushin Thunder Liger's theme. Look at this. Look, this was.
Dude, his thing was bad.
But that was awesome, dude. Like,
It
yeah,
was.
like now they're awesome. Like they do have that kind of Asian taste, but they sound epic. You know, like the Asian taste.
I don't know why that just sounded really funny.
It does.
Enjoy authentic WWE programming with some Asian taste.
Yeah, like they went. They went from like the 70s to like the Power Rangers songs. You know, like that's like,
Of course, the song that's been killing it lately is Rude's.
oh God, yeah, that's so awesome. It's unbelievable.
Pretty sure I've listened to it for 96 straight hours.
Sounds great.
Oh my God.
When he's like, either when he has the title or when he's like challenging, because he's gonna, you know what? I mean, he's gonna have the title. That's it.
Brooklyn's gonna lose their minds.
Yeah.
When he comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you could. I don't know if you can keep him
wait a
heel.
minute. I have a quick question as far as Bobby Roode is concerned. So I haven't watched any of the Cruiserweight Classic yet because I was waiting for it to, because I'm like wanting to binge watch it, you know?
Yep.
So he just debuted, correct?
Right.
Bobby Roode?
Yeah, Roode just debuted this past week. That's why everyone's like lost their minds.
That's interesting because when I went and saw the Louisville house show in NXT, and I sent all the videos to Joe and the guys in the Facebook chat, but Bobby Roode was there at the show. I mean, he was an active wrestler.
Yeah, he did do a bunch of house shows before he debuted. And people were like, "Oh, it's his NXT debut." It's like it's under a tent. There's a ring and a tent there. It's like calm down. Calm yourself down.
Right. When he came out though, when his music hit, dude, the pop in that building, there was only about, I would say, like maybe 3,000.
Yeah.
But
That's about
when
right.
he came out, the roof about blew off that fucking place. Like it just looked like the same Bobby Roode we've seen for the past 10 years, you know. So.
Well, yeah, true, and it's funny you mention that because I'm like, well, wait a minute. Full Sail heard this song when it came out. Why didn't this catch on fire until just recently? Unless they like edited it or something like that. So it's very weird and funny how like all of a sudden just like that theme song just exploded and like the tweets I've seen about his theme song are absolutely hysterical.
Yeah.
Just people are just like this is. Someone said like this is my breakup song. This is like the song I want to come to. Like this is the song I'm graduating to. Like this is great stuff. It's like man.
The people doing the music. I mean, Jim, and then whoever else is writing these songs, or whoever's getting them, or wherever they're coming from.
Gotta be Hunter.
Yeah, I mean they're so good. I mean WWE has always been pretty good with it, but it has always been like really good at it. But these NXT ones, I mean, they're starting them off. Just these things are bigger than the wrestler first, and then the wrestler has to show you why the theme is exciting. It's very bizarre, very interesting. You know, Kevin Owens was great. You know, I love
that one hit big when it first happened.
and it's just so simple too. It's just grab a guitar, grab some drums,
Kill some people. That's all it needs.
Yeah, it just fits them perfectly. They all fit everybody perfectly almost. There was somebody who, well, I know even Joe's, you know, at least Joe's is different, you know, it's not, although I will say Samoan Joe sounds like he's still got a TNA type theme. Like
It sounds like it's the theme song is bitter that he was in TNA.
Yeah.
Like you can hear like brum, 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 like you watch.
TNA's music is awful. Like I never know who's coming out because it all just sounds generic. I think I liked.
They had good music back. Like I thought they had decent stuff like a couple years ago. I don't know what changed.
It reminded me of WCWs, like a lot of WCWs.
Yeah,
it was just kind of like plain, sort of like not recorded loudly. Like I don't know what it was, but and like AJ Styles was like I recognized his theme. I don't know. A lot of it just sounded. I couldn't tell who was coming out, and I didn't characterize them for me. I got used to it being theirs after a while, but I never went, wow, like I've got to download that. Like I've never thought that. But with WWE, it's like, God, I want that. I want Kevin Owens' theme. I want Sasha Banks' theme. I want Emma's new theme. I want Shinsuke Nakamura's theme. I like all these themes. Everything is good.
Wait, Justin, did you play Bobby Roode's theme last night?
Actually, I play that song every time I step out of the shower with the towel on. And,
with the towel on?
Oh, but wait, when I go up to my wife, I drop that shit. As soon as I drop it, my big fat cock flops out.
Is there a glowing light, and then you have to like throw it over your shoulder, like put in like a little barrel and wheel it out? I don't know where the fuck I'm going with this. I'm sorry.
I will put this in you with my hands. I don't know what's going on, but I'm into it.
Yeah. I
wish you had a film. I wish you should have filmed your night last night, Bailey.
Oh, I probably did. I don't know where my video came from.
God, you could sell that.
It's just one giant pixelated video.
I'd pay for that.
Can't show you any of it because it's too much for you to handle.
Hey, to all my subs out there, guys, go to myporno.com and purchase my video. It's up now with me and my girl.
Called Pixelated Pleasure. Available in standard definition HD, which means you can see even more pixels.
And get you off.
One night in Boston.
One night in Deerfield, Texas. That's how it opens.
A little bit of Asian taste.
Like they're panning in on this city, and then they go coming closer to the city, closer in the rising sun in the background, and then they go right through one of the windows into the apartment where you're at.
It's in Texas. It makes no sense.
I know, maybe it doesn't, but screw it. And you're coming out of the shower, and so the camera pans through the window in the apartment, roams into the bathroom, and then stops in front of this like kind of peach-looking curtain thing, and then the curtain opens, and your hairy legs, and you step out of the thing, and it's still playing. And it's just amazing.
You gotta do a slow pan up and then out.
Yes, up and out, exactly.
Why is it I know how to direct this stuff?
Yeah, why we seem to know.
What are you guys doing here? It sounds like you got a calling coming.
Was that you, Bill? You gotta get out of here?
So yeah, I gotta go. I gotta be at work at 10. So.
All right. Well, let's wrap this thing up because I'm good to get out too. Right. So anyway, we're gonna see Raw. Who knows what will happen? Is there anything really planned that we know of? Not really. Right?
Yes. Daniel Bryan will be at Raw.
That's so bizarre.
There's some talks about this. So apparently, it's gonna have to do with the whole Orton invading Raw and Lesnar invading SmackDown, which, fun fact, apparently online a lot of people are saying that the SmackDown versus Raw matches, expect them to kind of happen sort of like this, where they're invading each other's show, and they're going to do some more SmackDown Raw matches at the big 4 pay-per-views.
Okay.
Which I'm all for. The rumor, and this is a big one, and I don't know how valid this is, and to be honest, I'm not 100% sure if I like it. The rumor is that tomorrow night on Raw, Daniel Bryan will confront Foley, GM to GM, and that's when Daniel Bryan will turn heel.
What the hell?
Yeah, that's what I said too. I'm not against it. He's done a decent job as a heel before, but it's a little iffy. But that's the rumor going.
Isn't the heel brand Raw though?
That doesn't
make sense to me.
Well, if Shane stays face.
Yeah, I guess that is weird.
So you have a heel. What?
You have a heel GM and a babyface commissioner, and then on Raw you have a heel commissioner and a babyface GM.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just weird that they would do it with Daniel Bryan, but that's
I don't know why.
He's going to be there on Raw for sure. The rumor is that he's turning heel. I don't know if that's true or not, but
probably because Shane McMahon's shitty fucking acting wouldn't pass good for a heel.
Well, heel authority figures just make better television anyway.
Yeah.
He's got to be really. I mean, that's weird.
As far as predictions for this week on SmackDown and Raw, it's hard to tell who's going to get the upper hand this week. If you're going by, just the evens and odds. Raw had it week before, SmackDown had it this past week, so maybe they go back to Raw to get the upper hand. How are they going to do that?
Well, that's the thing, is that's the beauty of it. With both of them being live, you don't know until you have to tune in, and it makes it must-see TV. So,
yep.
Well, there you go, guys. Go check out OKFabe on YouTube. Go check out Justin Bailey's channel, The Best There Is podcast on YouTube. And then, of course, subscribe to me. If you're not subscribed to me, subscribe to all of us. And thank you guys for listening. It was State of the WWE 66. You can go back and listen to all the other ones if you want to. And that's about it. Thank you guys. Have a good one. I know I have a good one, and I know Bailey has a good one. I'm not sure about Conor yet, but we'll get into his personal life next week.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Good times.
Thank you all for listening to State of WWE. This episode of State of the WWE is brought to you by WrestleCrate. Entering coupon code Joe Sent Me on WrestleCrate.com, and you'll get 10% off of your WrestleCrate box. Also, if you guys like snack packs from around the world, a monthly subscription box called Munch Pack. And if you go to Munch Pack, it's MUNCHPAK, Munch Pack, you get 10% off, or rather you get $2 off. I'm sorry, you get $2 off when you enter in coupon code Joe Sent Me. We, of course, appreciate you guys supporting the show as you guys constantly do. If you love the content and you do want to help me out, you guys are the ones that pay my salary for the show. Pretty much, Google doesn't do much. So patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show is where you guys want to go if you want to help me. $1 a month would be great. At least, if you could do that, that'd be wonderful. If not, you do more. Some people do $10, $5, $20, whatever you want to do. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. And make sure you also send me your phone number. That way I can enter you in the phone system so we can try to take your call quicker. And you get ahead of everybody else. Plus, we'll have some exclusive content uploaded there. We've exclusively uploaded 2 things so far to Patreon. But there'll be more coming, so you guys can message me on Patreon as well. Also want to remind you that if you like trading cards of any kind, terrifictradingcards.com is where you want to go there. And I want to shout out to Ed again, WrestleCrate. We have a new promotion coming up for WrestleCrate. We're going to be able to get money off the crate as well, plus autographs and things like that. We're working that out, and I'll have more announcing on that coming up soon. Also remind you, August 26th, Brockton, Massachusetts. Come on out and meet me. If you want to meet Joe Cronin, you want to meet all the wrestlers, August 26th, Brockton, Massachusetts, at the Brockton Rock Stadium. Tickets are on sale now, brown bag tickets. I'll try to post the link in the description box down below and everywhere else. And brown bag tickets is where you can get those. Kevin Nash is going to be there. Gangrel, Vader, and the Innovator of Violence, Tommy Dreamer, plus Spike Dudley, special referee, and all the local wrestling stars. And, of course, Teddy Goods puts on the TRP, Top Rope Promotions, Interstate Championship, and Heavyweight title. Both titles on the line against Brandon Webb in a TLC match. They'll be refereed by Spike Dudley. That is going to be absolutely epic as well. I'm looking forward to it. And I thank you guys so much for listening, and I hope you can click the like button down below. If anything, click the like button. Leave a comment. Share the videos. Hit me up on Twitter at Joe Cronin Show. Hit up OKFabe at OKFabe and at Justin Bailey IND or the Best There Is podcast on Twitter as well. And guys, I have a new podcast out called Triggered by Rage, and I'll have a new episode coming out of that as well on iTunes. So go over to iTunes or Podbean and check out Triggered by Rage. That is my new podcast, and there'll be a new episode up soon, so please check that as well. And that's about everything I think I needed to mention and get out there. I hope you guys have a good day. If there are wrestlers or anybody you guys want to get on the show, some of our interviews have come because you guys tweeted them yourselves and harassed them, and then they finally said yes. So you are what you can say usually is, hey, I'm a big fan of this show called The Joe Cronin Show with tons of views and listeners, and I really want to hear you on the show. Would you go on? And a lot of times that works out. So if you really have a wrestler in mind you want to get on, there's what you have to do. All these things I mentioned at the end are important. Go back and listen if you forgot anything. Thanks for listening. My name is Joe Cronin. This is The Joe Cronin Show, and damn it, I gotta grab me Steve Weiser. Goodbye.